Three, two, one, action!
Are we live?
We're live!
We're live.
It's BabyDoll and Wrangler.
I'm BabyDoll. I'm Wrangler. She's BabyDoll.
Welcome. Let's get on Instagram. So you
on
want to
Instagram.
show anything right there?
No, I'll just let you handle all of that stuff. I have no idea how to do any of this. Nor I probably never will.
Well, I think they could still see us though.
I don't know. I don't see anybody else. There.
Hi. Hi, people.
Hello. I hope you're having a great week. Yeah, it is Wednesday, March the 12th. And you want me to talk about the stock market, honey?
The stock market report.
Oh, I bet you're all wondering what your 401ks are doing.
Stock market report.
Because I'm sure you've heard all the bad news about tariffs. They don't mean shit. Stuff. Anyway. But anyway, so give you an update. The Dow Jones since last Monday is down 3,000 points, roughly, almost. And the NASDAQ, which is all your tech stocks like Apple, actually they're both Apple and Microsoft, they're both indexes, but the NASDAQ is down 2,000 points. Big sell-offs. I think I've told you that. I was expecting the market to go down. I thought it'd go up a little bit last week. It didn't. I thought it would go up a little bit this week. It hasn't. It's kept going straight down. Now, I'm a bear, so I've been betting on this for a long time. But I haven't hardly done anything this week because I can't believe it's still selling off. And we had some good economic data today. The CPI, which is your Consumer Price Index, it's a measurement of inflation. Actually, inflation went down 1 tick. 0.1 is what I mean, from last month to this month. And the market still, the NASDAQ went up today, the Dow didn't. It sold off a little bit. But they were both way up before the market opened, and then they just went straight down like this. And then popped back up at the end. But it's dangerous. Don't be afraid to buy if you are a long-term investor. Matter of fact, it's a good time to buy a lot of stocks. When I say long-term, I'm talking about 5 years, 3 years if needed. But, it's a good time to buy some solid stocks. And I emphasize solid stocks, not the one you heard about from your country club buddy or the guy on the street or the guy in my AA meeting. Those are ones you run from. Matter of fact, half the time I sell them short just to rub it in their face. But anyway.
So what are the ones that are good to buy then?
Well, I like
only a recommendation.
Only recommendations. Will not be held
accountable.
Liable for any of my recommendations. You do with them what you wish. The risk is all of you. There's some tech stocks that I kind of like right now. I'd be buying Meta or Facebook, whatever you want to call it. I'd be buying Meta right here. Meta.
Isn't it Meta?
I thought it was Facebook. I still call it Facebook. The ticker symbol is META. Meta. I don't care. Anyway, from an evaluation purpose, it's pretty cheap, and it sold off quite a bit in the last 2 weeks. I think it's safe to buy a couple of shares of that. I think it's safe to buy a couple of shares of Tesla, whether you like it or not.
Really? Even though they're trying to blow up their stores?
It's down 50%. And, Tesla, I don't want to sound like one of those talking heads on TV, but Tesla is really not an auto play like a Ford or a Chevy. It's a technology play. And the sky's the limit for what they can do. And remember, Elon has more than just Tesla. Yes, Starlink, he's creating robots, he's creating all kinds of AI stuff. This is just Democrats fighting with Republicans, which what's new. So that's why his stock has been selling off. Now, I will say it was overvalued, $500. Now I think it's $230 or $240 a share. Matter of fact, I thought about buying some today, but I'm gonna wait till next week when things start settling down. The U.S. and Canada, they're fighting each other over the tariffs. That will all come to a rest someday. I wish I had that, because I know the market will shoot straight up based on nothing.
Based on nothing.
Yeah, because the market was way overvalued going into this year. It was way overvalued going into last year. If you look at a 25-year graph on the Dow Jones, you'll see that the graph goes straight. Well, for your viewers, goes straight like this. Bottom left-hand corner, straight up to the right-hand corner. And at a very steep angle. That just does not happen. It can't last over long periods of time. So eventually it's going to come back, which it already has. Matter of fact, I think the Dow is down 15%, the NASDAQ is down 10% from their all-time highs. I might have said that wrong, but I think you get the point. And I think it's going to finish lower where it's at right now by the end of the year. I'll have every guy on television argue with me on this point, but that's really what I think. And I'm a pure technical analysis. I look at fundamentals, but not really. But I only trade well-known stocks. I only trade high-value companies. I don't trade the tip from the gas station attendant. All right, that's my market update.
That was a good one.
I got one more thing I want to talk about.
Okay.
Blackstone grills. I bought one.
Darren got a new grill, and he's so excited. We had steak
2 nights in a row.
2 nights in a row, and it was amazing, honey.
Yeah, I gotta say, I don't know why I didn't buy one 3 years ago, but that Blackstone grill, and I got the grill and smoker combination. I haven't tried that part out, but the grill part is, or griddle. The griddle part is incredible. That's the flat surface that you cook on.
It is amazing.
I mean,
so yummy. He made steak 2 days in a row.
Yeah, I couldn't help it. And I whipped up some mushroom stuff on it. And we
had wild rice. And then tonight we had mashed potatoes.
I'm going to do some stir fry on it eventually. Tomorrow we're
so
having
good, honey.
bison burger.
Bison burgers tomorrow night.
I got to tell you, if you're, it's spring, and if you're in the market for a new grill, Blackstone, it costs a little more, but it's worth every single dollar. And I've been buying grills for 35 years, and I'm pretty good at it.
It's a really nice one.
Yeah, paid a little more than I probably wanted to.
Laura said you can make pizza on them.
Yes, you can. You can make pizza on them. You can smoke anything you want on them. On the grill part, or the griddle part, I gotta call it right. On the griddle part, you can do all kinds of stuff. And the great thing about it is there's recipes all over the internet. I know there always has been. They got some Blackstone ones and tips on how to cook. And, even me, I've been cooking on the grill for 100 years. And I still looked at the tips and actually picked up a few things that I did not know about. So anyway, I'm just excited about it. So anyway, what did you want to talk about?
It's that time of year when you get to get back outside and cook outside. And I was just sitting out in the backyard.
Did you see the fence I fixed?
No, but I saw the moon. And I got to watch the puppies. They like to sit out there and just look around. They were enjoying the weather too.
Yeah.
You've been working hard. How many hours were you out in the backyard today?
4 or 5.
4 or 5.
Yeah, whenever the market closed.
Fixing fences and.
Yeah, whenever the market closed, I went out in the backyard and started beating on the fence.
Thank you, honey.
Yeah, and I hired the guy across the street to paint it.
So, what about your sports?
It's a boring time of year, although there's a good.
I know there had to be something. I knew there had to be something.
There is a good golf tournament that starts tomorrow.
You've been watching golf.
It's the TPC, the Tournament Players Championship, which you and I got to go there 3 years ago, and we got to sit on the island green, which I think is the 17th hole. But we got to sit in a luxury box on the island green. Unfortunately, that year the weather was, I think the high was 45 degrees.
It was freezing.
But we got to spend 4 days there. First 3 days were terrible cold. Matter of fact, I think I bought 8 TPC jackets just for me and probably 7 for her.
Yes. We had one on top of another, on top of another, on top of another.
Yeah, we still couldn't get warm. But the last day was beautiful, of course, because it was the last day.
But I will say they sold out of just about everything in the store.
Yep, there wasn't one thing left behind. Yeah, so it's a great golf tournament. It's considered by many the 5th major. If you're familiar with golf, you understand what I'm saying. If not, look it up.
Okay, so you want to hear our topic?
Well, you're going to talk. I'm out of win.
No, we're both going to talk.
All right.
It's about how to be on the same page, or how to get on the same page, or how to be a team in your marriage or in your business.
First recommendation is have 2 cars. So, if you don't like what he's saying, you can go the other direction, and that's communication.
Honey.
I'm just kidding. I'm game for that,
So
honey.
on that note, let me tell y'all something.
Is this a good one? Or is it a bad one?
Darren has had this crazy vision of living out in the middle of nowhere where all you can see is a field. He just wants to look at a field,
trees and
run,
mountains.
And trees and what?
Mountains and a lake.
Oh, now you want mountains and a lake.
Yeah, I've always wanted that.
Well, you drove me to that place in Iowa and said you just wanted to look at that, and it was just land. And you said you ran through there with your dogs when you were younger, and you did that with your grandfather.
Oh, that was Lake Manawa, Council Bluffs, Iowa. And
no, it was land. It was nothing but a field.
You let me finish?
Yes.
Between Lake Manawa and where I lived in the northern end of the lake. There was about 2 miles between where I lived and the Missouri River. And it was nothing but land. And as a kid, I used to run out there with my dogs. And we'd go see deer every night. Matter of fact, I bet one time I saw 1,000 deer in a wheat field out there. Or I don't even know if it was a wheat. It was a cornfield, but it was already picked. And there was at least 1,000 deer. There were so many, I couldn't even count them. And
so you want to look at deer?
Well, I'm tired of looking at Dallas, Los Angeles, San Antonio, Chicago.
How long have you been here?
Since 97.
You've been here since 97.
Since the end of 97. Yeah.
So how long is that?
29 years. 27, 8 years. It'll be 28 years in January. Or, not January, but December.
How many years?
28.
And how many of those have been where we are? This town.
Oh, the Frisco? The whole time. I spent 1 year in Plano and then the rest here. 2 years in Plano, then the rest here.
Mm-hmm. So we had a joke when we first met that we were just like the people on Green Acres because I like
the city.
The coffee. I like to go get my coffee in the morning. I have to get my nails done, my lashes done, my hair done. And I spend most days in my car running around. And so we are like Green Acres. I wonder if these people are old enough to remember Green Acres.
Probably not.
So she wanted to live in the city.
I mean, I'm barely old enough to remember Green Acres.
And he wanted, because I would love a penthouse in New York.
Yeah.
I don't know, though. The New York today may not be the New York that was.
Maybe they'll get the wrong guy because there ain't no way, whether I like New York or not, there ain't no way I'm going to own a penthouse in New York. No. You can talk me into a lot of stuff, but that's not one of them.
So we are.
You can have a penthouse in Montana.
Okay. I'll take it.
On a mountain.
So, back to our topic. How do you get on the same page and be a team?
You have conversations like we just had. She says penthouse in New York. I say no. Get on my team.
Want to try again?
You try.
Want me to try?
Yeah.
How do we get on the same page?
That's not trying. You're asking me a question. So how do we get on the same page?
Maybe ask each other, how do we get on the same page?
My real answer is, why you tell me, honey? That's my real answer.
Okay, tell me, honey, how do we get on the same page? Is that your final answer? Would you like to call a friend?
Yeah. Yeah. What was that show? That was a good one. Call a friend. Yeah, I need a lifeline. I need a lifeline.
To call a friend to how to get on the same page.
It's not that hard, though, really, if you think about it. I mean, for the most part, we want to do the same things. And
I don't think we do any of the same things.
Now you're answering the question.
I don't think we do any of the same things. Like, I get in my car and run around and do everything. My car's like my little mobile office.
Yeah.
I spend a lot of time, and Darren's a homebody.
No. I work, you work during the days.
Well, yes, we're both working, but you work from home.
Yes.
And you like to stay home, and you do everything around the home and for the home.
Yeah, that's because I don't want to spend $1,000 to pound a nail in something.
Well, but you work on the computer, you work in your office, and you spend a lot of time at the house.
Yeah.
And so maybe on the weekends when the weather is nice, we'll be in the pool a lot in the backyard.
Or at the boat in the lake.
We go to the lake.
Yeah.
Or we go to the movies.
Yeah.
For fun. So those things we like to do.
Yeah.
But Darren loves sports, and I don't like sports. Well, my mom put me in every sport.
Yeah, but I don't sit there. I don't sit there and watch. I love sports, but I don't sit there and watch baseball games. I don't watch any basketball games. Matter of fact, the only basketball games I watch is March Madness, and that might just be the Final Four. And
well, I didn't say you watch all sports.
Baseball, I used to watch it every night, or close to it, but I probably just maybe once a week, if that.
Mm-hmm.
I like to watch the World Series and the playoffs, of course, like everybody else. But yeah, football Sundays and even college football Saturdays. I tell you what, college football Saturdays, I used to start watching football games at 10 in the morning, and I watched the game that was being played at Hawaii, which started at midnight or 1 o'clock our time.
When was this?
It still goes on. But
when did you do this?
Oh, years ago. But I mean, that's just telling you how crazy I was about college football. Now I just watch the main games. If we can see the Iowa game on TV, I usually don't miss it. And really outside of that, I don't go out of my way to even watch the big matchups until we get to the tournament time. And actually, I don't get too crazy about that either because I was never in it.
Laura says good communication. That's how you get on the same page.
Agree. You talk and I say yes, honey. That's supposed to be funny.
Okay. So you like sports and I don't.
Yeah, but I don't hold that over you.
No. But you said we were a lot alike and we're really not very much alike.
Yeah, we are. We like the finer things in life. I don't think you get it.
Huh?
We like the finer things in life. We like good food, We are
kind of alike. That's true. Yeah.
We like to go to the same places if and when we're traveling, which we haven't done much lately. Ever since COVID, that screwed all that up because we were traveling quite a bit before COVID, and now it's just it's crazy. So I can't get excited about it. That's my phobia. Where'd we go that I really didn't want to go?
Europe.
Well, yeah, but I was okay with that. Yeah, I was a little reserved. But
Jamaica.
No, I was actually okay with that.
The night before you started.
Chicago. I mean, I lived there for 4.5 years, and I didn't want to go to Chicago because the crime was going crazy. And
Yeah, this was a couple of years ago, so it was pretty bad.
yeah, it was when our daughter Olivia got engaged to her husband, but they invited us to go up there, and it was a wonderful time. But I could tell you, there was a few places that it's like I wasn't very comfortable with, and I know that town, and that's I don't want it didn't ruin it for me because we had a great time and it was a beautiful engagement. And, we're down by Trump Tower in that area off of Michigan Avenue and Rush Street. But I really did not want to go. I was trying to talk our daughter into going anywhere but there. But she's like her mom. It didn't work. But it was great. I'm glad we went. What else? See, we're all alike.
Well, you're right. We are alike more than I thought.
Yeah.
There are things that we are very much alike. Like what?
Well, now you're going to answer the question. How are we not alike? Doing your hair and buffing your nails don't count.
Well, I like to run around.
It's
I mean, I like to get in my car and get in my. I like to get up and get dressed and get moving and get my coffee. Okay, I like coffee. You don't like coffee.
No.
You like Pepsi. I don't like Pepsi.
You like Dr. Pepper, so you drink soda.
We both drink soda.
Yeah. And you both drink a lot of it. Too much of it, by the way.
So how do you get on the same page when you're disagreeing with something in a marriage?
When do I disagree? Well, I
do
do
help people here, honey.
No, usually when I disagree with her is if she wants to do something crazy expensive.
That's the only time we disagree?
Or if she wants to order DoorDash and I'm tired of DoorDash. By the way, that's why I bought a Blackstone too.
Oh my goodness, honey.
Yeah, plug in Blackstone, maybe I get paid to be an advertiser. I don't get too upset.
10 more times. Blackstone. Blackstone.
Yeah, but I don't see myself disagreeing with you on a whole lot of things. I'm getting that look, so here it comes.
Okay, you pick a topic.
I'm okay with this topic. Yeah. So how do I disagree?
People?
Well, let's talk about communication, and I think what we're doing is kind of we've been talking and communicating about this subject, and you're like, oh yeah, we do. We are a lot alike in some ways. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that's all about. You say, oh, you never want to do what I want to do, or vice versa. You probably have those, those with significant others out there probably have this conversation once in a while, some more than others. And usually when you talk it through, that's communicating. So I think we just put a good example together. And
what do you think causes people to not be on the same page?
Ooh. Usually, boy, I would say not getting on the same page. It could be something as simple as you really want to do this. You really want to go to Chicago, and I really want to go to Colorado. So it's like we each want it so bad that we get mad at each other if we don't talk each other into it. Something silly like that. That was a bad example. Or I want spaghetti tonight and she wants steak. Or it could be, I'll talk about it. Since I like to talk about the stock market, it could be about financial stuff. I know a lot of people are going to be struggling if they aren't already over the next year, maybe a little longer. And it has nothing to do with Donald Trump or Joe Biden. Well, actually it does. But the economy has been building up for years. Overinflated houses are 3 times more in 5 years than what they were 5 years ago. All that kind of stuff. Interest rates are high, inflation's high, and now we're, it was easy to get a credit card. I got very good credit, and it's hard to get. I haven't applied for anything, but I bet if I did, I'd get approved with a very small balance than I'm used to. Consumer debt is at an all, and I've said this a few times. Consumer debt is at an all-time high right now. People that own cars that they have a loan on, people that are beyond 60 days late is at an all-time high since they started building cars. Stuff like that is scary because you heard the word recession around there. I've talked about stagflation last week, and that's worse than recession in my mind.
Because it's like stagnant water. It's like there's no fresh water.
No,
there's nothing moving.
Yeah, I'm making I was used to making $100. Now I'm making 90. I was used to paying $80 in grocery. Now I'm paying 100. So your wages or growth go down while prices go up. That's stagflation. It's also really a recession long term, but I don't think we're going to get like a 1929 type thing, but it's going to be a little bit harder for the next year or two. I really believe that. I think we'll come out of it stronger than ever, but we're all going to take a hit. I don't care if you're rich or poor. We're all going to take a hit. Mm. People on TV say, "Oh, billionaires are making more money." No, they are not. And billionaires pay 90% of our taxes anyway. So you think they're making more money by paying 90% of the overall taxes to the IRS? Think about it. And half the people in this nation don't even pay taxes. You don't hear that stat very much. Might not be half, but it's pretty close.
That was a lot, honey.
I know. I forgot what I was talking about. Sorry.
Okay, so let's see if I looked this up accurately. That's not it. That's not it.
That's not it.
Must be on my phone. How to get on the same page. I looked up scriptures for that. Because when we're on here together, I feel like we should talk about having a marriage because I think we do pretty good at making our marriage work.
Yeah, I think so.
Don't you?
Yeah, and I think so. And before you get into the scripture, I'll talk about God in general. I think a big part of that is going to church. We could both have just crummy weeks. Something that she's doing with her businesses and helping people just might not be going smoothly. The stock market and the oil prices might not be working for me, and it just builds up all week. But when you get to the weekend, it's time to take a deep breath and try to have a great weekend. And come Sunday, go to church. That's a great start to leave that stuff in the back and look forward to the next week. And doing that together, I think is, what I want to say, it's a great way to communicate. Kind of starts everything over, brings you close together with God. And
so I guess when I said getting on the same page or being on the same team, it's being unified.
Sure.
Is the word, and you just said that, like going to church together, mm-hmm. and you're hearing the same message. Mm-hmm. That's very helpful.
Absolutely.
So Ecclesiastes 4:9-12 says that two are better than one. If they fall, one will lift up the other.
When she gets tangled up, I'm always there to untwist her.
That's the story from Hawaii with my necklace.
That was.
Did we take that? Did we tell that last week?
I think you did.
Yeah, pretty sure. So,
were we married then?
Or
were we engaged? I always mix that up.
It was before we were married, yeah.
Yeah. I was communicating before we got married.
Ecclesiastes also, that same 4:9-12, talks about the value of partnership, and it highlights the strength and benefits of working together, stating that two are better than one because they can help each other through difficulties and find comfort and companionship. Two are better than one values partnership in marriage, and two people are more productive as a team and can help each other through troubles. So if one falls, the other can pick each other up. So that talks about support and encouragement through difficult times. And a threefold cord is not easily broken. So that's also in Ecclesiastes 4:12. Genesis 2:24. Therefore a man shall leave his father and his mother and hold fast to his wife. Hold on, honey.
I've been hanging on.
And they shall become one flesh.
Yeah.
Matthew 19:6 says they are no longer two, but one. Ephesians 5:22-33 talks about the roles and responsibilities in the marriage, emphasizing mutual respect, love, and submission to one another. So I'm going to talk about that for a second because people sometimes have a problem with submit to your husband. Well, you should submit to each other.
Mm-hmm.
So if you both are submitted to God, it is easier to be submissive towards each other. So submissive and respect and love are kind of all together in one. Don't you think?
Yeah.
When you respect each other, then you want to be submissive. You want to read it?
No, I want to keep going. There was one I really liked on here. Actually, a couple ones I really liked on here.
So
that two people are more productive as a team and help each other during troubles. That's so true in just about everything I could think of. You ever started a project, something that might be a little bit complicated, and you start a project and you want to do it on your own? Well, guess what? You finally probably ask someone for a little bit of help, whether it's your wife or someone else. And whether you realize it or not, you just created a team and you got it done much faster and probably much better. I can easily throw sports analogies in there. There's no I in team, blah, blah, blah. And I was about to say except individual sports, but I'm going to correct myself. Golf, individual sport. But you know what that golfer has? The professional golfers have? They have a caddy that carries his clubs and recommends to this guy how the ball's going to come out of the grass, what club you might want to hit, measures the wind, all kinds of stuff. That's a team. Tennis players, they have coaches, so that's a team. I don't want to make everything about sports, but, husband, wife, no matter what decision you're making, if you try making it on your own, unless you're trying to surprise you, if I'm trying to surprise her, I'm not going to ask her for advice. But if I want to go out and buy a new Blackstone, I'm going to ask my wife about it, and vice versa. If she's going to go out and do something crazy, she's most of the time going to ask me about it.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
We started off a little off kilter on that, though, because Darren would give me his credit card while he stayed at the bar drinking in the very beginning. So we started off a little off base.
I got a great story. Speaking of that.
Okay, let's hear it.
So when Tasha and I first met, we were probably seeing each other for a couple months at this time. And she took me over to Lubbock, Texas, in particular, Texas Tech University, where the two daughters were going to school. And she went and introduced me to the daughters, blah, blah, blah. So they introduced me to the daughters, which is great. And one of the daughters was having boyfriend problems. Turned out she ended up marrying the guy. But anyway, I I don't remember what it was, but I had to leave a day early for something, and you were staying a day extra for something. I don't remember what happened. So anyway, I just said she wanted to go get her daughter a new pair of shoes, something crazy like that.
No, we were taking the girls shopping for just a little bit of things.
A little bit of things.
It turned into a lot of things.
So I get her. And all of a sudden, the very next day when I'm back in town, I went to my favorite bar. I see an alert on my phone. Did you try to purchase blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah for X, X, and X? I'm like, what the heck? I said, I don't even know if I got that much money in the bank. And right when I thought that, she calls me. She goes, honey, this card's not working. I'm like, yeah, I think I know why. I said, when are you buying?
There's only a few more things of makeup.
For 4 zeros, plus, plus, plus.
It was 3 of us.
So I had to give her another card over the phone. And I'm like, boy.
That was a long time ago.
And I told the daughter, I said, I'll buy these for you if you leave that boyfriend that's giving you such a hard time. Well, she agreed. And after I left town, she went and saw him later that night. And yes, she ended up marrying him. And he's a very good guy. So that all worked out. She couldn't have married a better. Our daughters couldn't have married 2 better guys. I'm proud of that. So
that was a side note. That was a bunny trail.
That was a bunny trail. There's another one of these I like too. I think he touched on it already. Matthew 19:6. Jesus says there are no longer 2 but one, reinforcing the concept of unity and partnership in marriage. I like simple stuff. I don't like stuff I have to think about too much.
Mm-hmm.
But you like that one?
Mm-hmm.
Am I talking too much?
No.
You invited me on the show.
I know. I like it when you're here.
It's because I talk.
So Philippians 2:4 talks about not only to look to your own interests, but also to the interests of others. So.
Well, if you're not looking at others' interests, you're just being selfish. That's all I'll say about that.
Yeah. So we have to care about each other. And Jesus Christ is the third part of the cord. And teamwork in marriage is the most successful.
Mm-hmm.
So how long did that take? How did we do? Oh man, we went almost 40 minutes. That's pretty good, honey.
Yeah. Let's communicate. Anybody out there?
Let's see if there's any comments over here.
Anybody want to throw their hat in the ring?
Hey, Jenny Henderson was on. She's gone.
Where'd she go?
I don't know.
Matter of fact, we need to invite Jenny and Steve over.
Yeah.
I'm afraid though, because Jenny is awesome cook.
She is really a great cook. They had us over for tacos.
Tacos.
A couple of weeks ago.
It was the best
tacos ever.
Best Mexican food I've ever had in my life.
So good.
Anyway.
So that's our 2 cents tonight, guys. We wanted to talk about how to be a team and be unified and be on the same page. And I guess I was thinking, sometimes one person is more advanced in certain areas than the other. So how do you help that other person catch up? Or do you just let them handle that part and you just do your part?
Well, I don't look at that as a bad thing. And that was a good example. I like to cook on the grill. She wanted to bake potato. I can't remember the last time I've actually baked a potato. So I didn't know when it was done, and you figure it out. I know that's kind of silly, but you're very good technology wise. I used to be, but you're very good technology wise. I'm not. I'm very good with numbers. You're definitely not, especially when it's dollar signs. um, so I think I don't think that's a bad thing because I think it brings us together. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? You know,
So I do have some exciting news. We filed for our nonprofit last night. Kashapa.
Kashapa. Tell me
Have
what
I
that
told
means.
you about that? Because Kashapa, Kashapa, is a Chickasaw word, and it means portion. Because in the Bible, my portion means God's the one and only source for your security, your hope, and your inheritance. And so Kashapa is my portion, which is the new nonprofit that we have started that will raise money to help the women in the sober homes. Isn't that exciting?
And counseling stuff too, right?
Yes. It'll help women with all that they need in recovery and sober living homes.
And you probably should go into that.
What do you mean?
Well, just tell more about it. I think there might be some people in here that might not know exactly what you're doing. I doubt it, but I think it's good to touch up on it. So,
You explain your version of what you want me to say.
well, right now, Tasha and her company, Kashapa,
Tomahawk Homes.
Tomahawk Homes.
Tomahawk Homes is what we have currently.
So we are providing housing for women that usually come from addictions or, if I'm wrong anytime, come from addictions and trying to start a new life, or we're trying to get away from abuse, whether it's marital abuse, just abuse. I don't know how to describe it any better than that. But anyway, it's something where these women can live comfortably. They receive, they live in a nice home in a nice neighborhood. They get counseling from you. Most times it's about the addiction or all the problems, right? Whatever issue they may have. And, and by the way, this is not a new thing. This is being done by a lot of people throughout the nation, which kind of surprised me when you started doing all this and getting me on board. I didn't realize how many. And there was a guy at our church that I've known fairly well. He has like 100 of these homes. And I had no idea. But, it's a way for us to give back, and I can't wait till we have our 100th home. Wow, it's hard to say. And then what else? Am I missing something?
Well, we came across a situation where we could help a handful of them. And now we can see that we could duplicate this and provide this to a lot more people because the need is so great. And unfortunately, there are some people that are involved with some of the sober living homes that are not as interested in the women truly getting better.
It became a business. It became more of a business. It was greed. It's always a business, You want to have enough money to pay for the home so these girls can have a great environment to start over their new life. But some of the owners, matter of fact, I'd say this is more so than good people. It's all about numbers. They'll stuff 10 people in a 3-bedroom house, and it's 1,800 square feet, and they really don't give a rip whether the girls are improving their lives or not. And it was just all about bringing in cash, which is the total wrong way to do it.
It's very, very,
it doesn't do
very
anything for the
unfortunate.
girls. Matter of fact, I think those people that act that way, quite honestly, I'd like to see them thrown in jail because I think it's, to me, I think it's taking advantage of the weak, and I also think it's detrimental to the people that are wanting to help. I think it sets them back many, many steps. And I think that's more criminal than actually just taking away their beer can. You know what I mean? It's just.
That was well said, honey, because, you know, a lot of people that end up with alcoholism or any type of addiction, there is usually something that kind of starts it off. There's usually a lot of trauma behind that. Somebody died, there's divorce, death of a child. Like a lot of times, there's a lot of trauma behind. So you remove the drinking, but now you still have all these things under here, underlying conditions that caused the person to reach for drinking.
Yeah, to relapse.
And so when you put them in a situation like that where the people actually don't care about you, and for example, they have you pay the rent and then kick you out the next day.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Literally.
There's all kinds of horror stories.
And then some of them are right next to drug houses. And so the people are they just go around in a circle. They go to the treatment center, they go to sober living, they go back to the drug house. They go to the treatment center, they go into sober living, they go back to the drug house.
And that's the wrong way to do it.
What's wrong?
No, we're going to do it the right way. I didn't want you to keep going like that.
Oh.
You're making me dizzy.
Sorry, but it's terrible.
Yeah, it is. But, you know, for those of you that may have been through situations like that, first of all, I'm sorry you had to go through that. But second of all, congratulations that it didn't stop you.
Yeah, that's true, because it's really tough to go through that.
Yeah, it is. But there's always hope. When you least think there's no hope, and I don't care what the situation is, there's always hope. And when you get at all stages, keep talking to God.
It also helps to have people around you that are supportive and encouraging you to be able to go through recovery. You know, it doesn't matter if you're recovering from grief or an illness like cancer, breast cancer, or, you know, devastation of divorce, or what you're going through, but it's so helpful to have people around you that are encouraging and praying for you, because prayer is huge.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, we filed for the nonprofit Kashapa and super excited about it. I got cupcakes to celebrate today. And so
yeah, you need something to celebrate to get cupcakes.
Yes.
Yeah, we got cookies the other night. What were we celebrating?
Filing for the nonprofit.
Anyway, on that note, honey.
So we'll be having our first fundraiser here on March the 30th. And so we'll send out all the information for people that are local. You can come and meet us and come join us.
Maybe they might want to take a vacation and come see us.
Yeah, come to Frisco.
Come to Frisco, Texas. North of Dallas, you fly into DFW or Love Field, and it's each airport's about 40 minutes away from our house.
Yeah.
There you go.
So we still need one more girl in our first house. So if you know anyone
that's looking for help
that could benefit from our help and a sober living situation, a very, very nice home and really great girls are there.
In a nice neighborhood too.
Yes. Then please send them our way.
That's all I got to say, honey.
Well, thanks for being on here with us. I'm so happy that you joined us. I hope you got something out of that. And I want you to know that we're praying for you.
Yes.
If you're trying to get sober and you want someone to walk alongside with you, please reach out to us. If you have a prayer request, please reach out to us. The final answer is the whole point of all of it is please reach out to us. We want to help you. So, Heavenly Father, Holy Spirit, precious Jesus, thank you for everyone who's listening today. I thank you for Darren. I thank you for our sobriety. I thank you for that we have a happy, healthy home, and we have a happy, healthy family, and we have happy, healthy children and grandchildren. We thank you that you are the great provider. We thank you that you are our protection everywhere that we go. And we just thank you for being with us. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and stay sober and stay free. And we love you.
Amen.
Bye.
See y'all.